Signs of being in hell or symptoms. Because when it comes to hell, hell is basically a mind state. Feel me? So whatever's basically is on your mind, whatever's is within your environment, these are the things that's gonna start cleansing, or these are the things that you may start cleansing towards too, because it's within your environment. But understand and understand, the life that you live and chose, it always starts with you. Nobody else is in that picture, that frame, that mind state of what you pretty much portraying as a picture, what you're painting, what you're publishing, and of course, what you're polishing up. So understand and understand. Hell is an area and location where any individual can pretty much create that world that they can pretty much live in. Feel me? And it's not a pretty word, but it's also tricky because you also got to come to the conclusions of you got some people in hell comfortably, and you got some people in heaven comfortably. But you ever heard of the term "what goes around comes around"? So when it comes to that phrase, that mechanism, it ain't even always just about what you did bad. Feel me? Things change, experiences happen, situations occur. So basically, it's like a 360 cycle, 365 cycle. So you're always going to be experiencing circumstances and situations that'll test you. Feel me? Now that test is a phrase that's going to pretty much adapt to what you are publishing or adapt to what you are comfortable with. And that test is basically going to bring things in your life to be there for you as you go through your experience. Let, let's say how we should put it. Whatever you comfortable with allowing in your space, that's the test. That test is going to see what you are comfortable with and what you are uncomfortable with. So if you're comfortable with something, it's going to test. That test is going to make sure it's bring comfortability, which is going to be a situation that's going to stick on to you, live within you, or be birthed out of your mind. And always remember and understand what's heavily on your mind can be a heaven or it can be a hell. See, it's going to be, and why I say that, because you could choose to express it, which can be something good that you can pretty much have your fruits and labors withdrawn to it, or it could be a hell, which you could be expressing some dalmatian, some form of guilt, some form of unsuccessfulness, some form of unsatisfaction. So that's pretty much going to be the hell phrase in that situation. Feel me? So, and this also could be a situation where you can pretty much be living through. Feel me? So, what's on your mind and what you are pretty much going through on the current day to day basis, that's going to be a circumstance situation that you're going to be pretty much prolonging and developing, depending on how long you stay in there. Now, if you was in hell for too long, your mind is gonna be filthy. It's gonna be dirty, literally. Feel me? Because you're gonna start reacting to things. You're gonna start carrying certain characteristics, certain traits, certain environments, certain things that you're gonna start attracting. You're just gonna be starting. You're gonna be attracting hell. Things that you don't want happening. Things that you don't need happening in your space. Feel me? And these are the things that's going to be pretty much prolonged and it's going to accumulate and start building up like bacteria and dirt because pretty much it's what you are in. This is your space, your mind, your mentality. You're not having no spark. You're not trying to at least put yourself into a situation of getting up out of it. You're allowing these things to pretty much humble and crumble on you. Feel me? So you humbled yourself in hell. Feel me? Because you thought being humble was, oh, following society, following hell, following this mind state, being in these energies. See, your spirit always gonna get at you and pretty much have a connection with you in an area and location where you're gonna feel uncomfortable about something, but your spirit always gonna be like, yo, you gotta get yourself out this situation. Like you can't prolong the situation. I'm gonna put you into a situation where you're gonna get yourself out of here. I'm gonna murk you. Feel me? Yeah, the spirit do the murking. Feel me? Your spirit is also responsible of creating a body and also taking you out that body. So it ain't just basically everything prolonged on the physical realm. Feel me? Whole lot of things going on behind the scenes without these eyes going on. Feel me? So it's all about the characteristics. It's all about how much your space can take. And now if your space is in a situation where it can't take no more, it's gonna start recycling. It's gonna start unwinding itself out of that situation. The tethering cord gonna start ripping. The umbilical cord gonna start, getting untangled about that situation because they don't want to be there. They want to be birthed out. Feel me? And this also goes to situations and circumstances where certain things should be expressed, certain things should be not said out your lips, certain things should not be shared because you could be sharing your hell with somebody. Feel me? They could be in a messed up mental mind state and they just having the conversation with you. And now the conversation don't even feel fruitful anymore. It just feel dry. It feel dirty. It feel I ain't really like this conversation I had with this individual. For me, because the conversation that you had with the individual, they was faking it. They wasn't really in a situation or circumstance of, having a genuine perspective of things. For me, it's a whole lot of shit going on. And if you clear enough, you can see if an individual is really, faking it, or if they are in a situation of, being a good vibes. For me, so you can't fake something. For me, either you live in it or you ain't. Feel me? So you can't really sit here and try to fake something. For me, that's like pretty much not. That's pretty much not washing your ass, putting on cologne, trying to make it seem like you smell good or feel good and things like that. Nah, you still gotta get that water. You still gotta get that baptism going on in that shower. You still gotta get all that shit off you. So yeah, it's never a situation where an individual is always gonna basically, think they can get away with trying to fake it. Nah, you can't fake it. Feel me? Even though you're supposed to already be in these energies, things may not appear to be where it's supposed to basically be, but you also got to put yourself into a situation of faking it to making it. But also, you have to be in that energy. You can't just try to fake something and you're not in that energy. Feel me? It's like, what's going on? You're doing the whole polar opposite, the unbackwards shit. So you have to move forward. So yeah, when it comes to heaven and hell, these are the symptoms. Feel me? Now, if you in hell, you already gonna know the first and most important symptom is gonna basically be a routine and pattern. Now, routines and patterns, your spirit always run away from these things because it does not want to be in no routine pattern. It want to experience new things. It want to take risks. It want to do something different. It want to pretty much express itself. Feel me? It don't want to be in no circumstance situation where things are stagnated. Things is constantly going and going all over again. No, it don't want to do that. Feel me? Another symptom that you can be in hell is you reacting and responding to things and taking things way too serious, which means you may not want something. You may not want this thing to hear, but you're not doing anything about it to get yourself out of that situation. You're like, oh damn, I gotta go through this again. Oh damn, this again. That's being in hell because you are in a space and location that you don't want to be in. So understand, overstand. It's up to you to get yourself out of that space, or it's up to you to change that energy and mimic something to make you feel like you are actually experiencing this versus you're experiencing something that you pretty much don't want to experience. The unwantedness. Feel me? That's pretty much the circumstance situation that you would be in. Another symptom that you inhale, nightmares. Now, if you're constantly dreaming and having nightmares, feel me? That means somewhere inside of you is night. Oh, of course, the inside of you is night, and the mirror is a premiere, something that's constantly going on again. So if you keep having dreams about nightmares, scary dreams, that means your spirit has to put on this boxing spiritual gloves and get the tussling, break those obstacles, break them things down, get that shit up out of here, get those circumstances and situations up out of here, because you're gonna keep experiencing the hell because you're not doing nothing about it. I mean, you're living the hell. You're dreaming. Once you start dreaming shit, the nightmares, it start to become experiences that you see physically. And you don't want that. You want to be having good dreams, not nightmares. Another circumstance situation that you can be in hell is blockages, limitations, things not going your way. That's another reason of being in hell because you're not putting in work, you're not putting in the energy, you're not fighting hard enough. You're stuck into a situation. You're stagnant. You ain't doing shit. You weak. You get overthrown by something. Someone or something is pressing down on you. Like missionary pressing down on her belly missionary. Something is pressing down on you. You're not actually moving. Feel me? You're stuck. Feel me? You got to get off that rut real fast. You got to get some spiritual DW and get yourself out of that situation. Get you some fire, get some spark, milk that shit. Get up out of it.